in the parking lot behind our shop, there is an abundance of Virginia creeper. And at the end of the season and on a rainy day like today, this is the perfect time to gather it. So, after cutting a few vines, there were still plenty left, I'm detaching the berries, which, by the way, you should not eat. And you should also wash your hands after being around Virginia creeper. So I'm taking off the berries, and I am going to make some wreaths for the store. I love using Virginia creeper and grapevines for wreaths because these little curly bits that attach the vines to your fence and get annoying outside make great grippy strength wreaths so that you can easily form your own shapes. So today I'm just going to make some round wreaths. So I've trimmed all the bits, and you'll see me trim a little bit as I go. Sometimes toward the stem area of the last year's growth, there's a bit of a crooked spot where it was trimmed before and then growth grew out of it. So I want to trim those spots off and use the tender ends to really wind and seal the wreath shape. And as I add more stems, I'm going to start with the wide end that was cut from the vine and secure it into that first frame. And then the fun thing about this is there are no rules. There's no right way to do this. A lot of the ones you see in craft stores have been done on a form where they're just wound around and then bound into that shape. And I prefer to wind my wreath all the way and to do it one piece at a time. The reason I prefer to do this is I feel like it's a mindfulness practice and a craft practice, as well as just plain old fun. So as I thread it through, I can be mindful of what ways I'm weaving things together in my life. You'll see here, I'm pinching off that little bit at the bottom that it's a little too tough to make my stem do what I want it to do. And all those little wily bits and crispy bits are perfect for just weaving into the overall shape, getting it to do what it wants and what you want it to do. I feel like this is an act of surrender to make these wreaths. And next, I do want to try those crescent moon shapes that I see around. But for now, this is the kind I've done before, and I'm excited to put this in a spot where I need a little more decoration in the shop. And who knows, if I get enough of them, maybe I'll sell them too. Don't you think that'd be cute with crystals added? I'm thinking crystals. And every once in a while this happens, and you go with it. It's a little like life, things get a little more tangled than you anticipated. But overall, you get to keep tucking the ends in and just giving it the love that it requires. Since you don't maybe want to be with me for a full 25 minutes, I'm going to speed this up. But the process is beautiful and slow, and if you aren't starting on a rainy day in November with your vines, you can try soaking them for a few hours in some water, and that will make them pliable enough that this will be an easy step. What you don't want to do is work with vines that are going to be too crispy and that will just break as you try to bend them. Give yourself lots of grace. Know that when you do the first vine, it may not look much like a circle, but as you add more and more, the shape will become more evident. And it's fun because you can really do them in any size. The vines that you have dictate the shape that will come out. It's really a soothing process. And these would be perfect for holidays or for a St. Lucia crown. I remember years ago I made a wreath of Virginia creeper that was it was in the backyard of our very first home. And I was pregnant with my oldest when we left, and I wanted to take a little bit of something from that house as a keepsake. And I made a little wreath out of the vines from that house, and I still have it. I've attached different flowers and leaves to it over the years to make it a seasonal wreath. They last for a long time. In ritual, you can also do this and make wreaths to bless your home, and then as you come around to the next year at Samhain, they would be very brittle, and you could add them to your Samhain bonfire and reset your intentions. Here I realized I have enough vines to make another wreath, and this one is so cute. It's turning out so small and delicate looking. It'll be just perfect for maybe around a doorknob. I love making mini things. I think there's something about small things that is, I don't know, maybe it has something to do with my Tolkien obsession, but small things make big differences, and I like making small things. And I like giving gifts and making small differences for people, because you never know when that small thing is going to turn out to be something really important, something really great that means a lot to someone. So if you find that you have a spare afternoon and a bunch of vines, I think you should give this a try, and you should definitely let me know in the comments if you try to make your own wreaths. If you don't have any locally, if you start talking to your friends and say, hey, does anyone know where Virginia creeper grows? Someone is going to say, oh, I have that all over my backyard. And you say, can I come trim it back for you? And they will say yes. I guarantee it. What do you think? I think these turned out really cute, and I just redid this hutch this week, and I'm in love with it. It just needs a little something right here, so I'm not sure if I want the big one, small, the big one, definitely. And I think it'll really add to the overall effect. It's not something that I'm like married to having right here always, but I change up the decor in the shop all the time, and I just love the overall effect.